Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Naseed Gifted and
this is Jojo Abenaavi Arts.
And this is the Futures Black Podcast. Thank all of you for tuning in. This is episode 38. We had such a great episode with 37 that we actually had to do a part 2. So this is Threads of Tomorrow, the power of Afrofuturistic fashion in tech and entertainment. Part 2.0, where we're going to dive into the revolutionary Afrofuturism fashion as we explore how Black creativity is shaping the future of wearable tech, entertainment aesthetics, and cultural identity, blending tradition with innovation to redefine style in a digital age. In this electrifying episode of The Future is Black, we unravel how Afrofuturistic fashion is transforming tech and entertainment. From smart fabrics to cinematic world building, Black designers are emerging ancestral symbolism with cutting edge innovation, while we examine Afrofuturism's influence on gaming, film, and the metaverse. This is where culture meets code and style becomes a statement of liberation. So welcome again. I mean, we had such an exciting episode before when we interviewed Afrofuturistic fashion designer Marco Hall, and there were so many nuggets within that episode that we had to do a part 2 and just kind of tap into a number of things. We're going to get into Sun Ra, we're going to get into Janelle Monáe, all of the different musicians. We have Missy Elliott, the Funkadelics, the Parliament, all of those different, from Bootsy Collins to Dapper Dan, all of these individuals who had a futuristic look on fashion. So with that, I wanted to get into our segment called Tech in the Diaspora, right? Where we talk about wearable tech and smart fashion, and then how Black designers are integrating AI, LED tech, and biometrics into clothing. And with that, we came across an article called AI in Fashion, the Unsung Harmonizing of Black Creativity in a Digital Era. This is a article by Expert Desk, February 9th, 2025. And they talk about how fashion has always been served as a canvas for artists to weave narratives of heritage, struggle, and triumph. And for Black designers, this narrative have often intertwines with a rich cultural lineage marked by resilience and creativity. And today, AI emerges as a transformative force, amplifying these voices and expanding their reach within the industry. This symbolic relationship between AI and fashion innovation serves as a case study in a harmonious collision of technology and creativity. And moreover, AI allows designers to simulate various materials and styles without physical production. And that's one of the biggest things with AI is being able to develop these prototypes. When I get into engineering, you want to design, you have these ideas and you want to develop prototypes. You want to see what these things look like. And AI gives you the capability of being able to do this, also put it on actual, virtual people, and virtual models and everything, just to see how color schemes, patterns, textures, and everything kind of look on individuals before you actually even go to print. And when we talk about increasing production time, reducing waste, and promoting sustainable practices, which is valued to the deeply embedded in many of the indigenous Black cultures. This represents an opportunity for industry to honor cultural traditions while embracing modern design.
Yeah.
So that's like some of the ways that, these designers are actually integrating, AI into that. And I know we talk about AI a lot, and AI is the new wave. I get it. Oh, go ahead.
We did talk about, I'm kind of excited because there's a whole Metaverse Fashion Week.
Oh, really?
That happened. Yeah, there's a lot of fashion happening right now in the Metaverse. And why I'm excited about generative AI is because it allows you to recreate the fashion pretty much on the fly. So you just imagine being able to go out with the outfit on, especially the ones that have the screens where you can have the whole outfit show up on the screen, but then quickly put a prompt in there. I'm going to a nice dinner tonight, change my outfit.
Yeah,
and then you
and
have a new
customize,
outfit
yeah,
and customize. And then being able to do that in the virtual world just set you up nicely.
Well, I mean, yeah, and now, I mean, from what some of the materials that they're talking about using, you can actually embed, lighting and various other things to be able to transform your outfit that you currently are wearing, and we're going to talk about some of the technologies that's actually doing that. But I actually came across a couple of articles. That this one was where we talk about the future of fashion, Black women revolutionizing AI in the fashion industry by Melanin Muse. And it talks about the rise of AI in fashion and how artificial intelligence is reshaping every aspect of fashion from design to retail. And then AI tools like Cloud and Style Sage allows designers to create 3D garments and predict style trends using data. So they're using data to be able to predict style and predict trends that's happening within style. And women like Anifa Mumufba, and I do apologize, founder of Hanifa, broke barriers by debuting a 3D virtual runway in 2020, something that you were talking about, which was a groundbreaking event that showed how AI could transform fashion's traditional runways. Also, her innovation, coupled with strong social media presence, showcase how tech can open doors to underrepresented groups in fashion design. So generally, when we talk about fashion, we talk about materials, there's a cost factor that's added into this. And with AI and leveraging technology, it's trying to level the playing field.
Yeah.
So beyond that, using the AI tools to help predict trends, they're giving small business owned brands the ability to compete with the larger players, because they're using this data to be able to analyze what's going to be the next big thing, and you can kind of program these, into your prompts and everything and actually use real data to be able to kind of do these things. And we talk about customer preferences, actually, gauge data, even if you put a particular design out or a number of designs out on social media and then track the analytics that goes along with that to be able to see what people are vibing with, That's something that's super, that's different. Generally when we talk about trends or we talk about the next big thing, and the one thing I always knew about fashion, because we actually had a clothing line back in the.
You did. We have to talk about that later.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that later. But like when you go to the fashion show, or you go to the magic show, in Vegas. One of the things that a lot of the overseas individuals would do was they would pick up the latest magazines, if it was a Source, The Vibe, Essence, or any of those particular magazines.
Right.
And the stuff that everyone was rocking in that, those were the brands that, these overseas buyers were going to see. Knowing that everything in fashion is 6 months in advance, so you're buying a season ahead.
Right.
So by the time you even get it, it's already been out, and now we're in the next season. So your summer stuff is coming out in the winter, and and vice versa and everything. Yeah. So saying that, now we're using AI to kind of do the predicting, and we'll just analyze the data. Now you can say, okay, we put this particular item out. Let's look at the analytics to that. This is trending, this is not trending, and everything. And then I hate to say trending, because a lot of the fashion that the diaspora kind of create is generally not as trendy. It stands the what would you call it? The test of time.
Yeah,
sometimes. So I like that about us from a cultural standpoint, but once it hits the masses and it becomes trendy in that sense.
Yeah, it hits the masses, and then it becomes a version of it, like a print of it, and then it becomes fast fashion.
Yes.
Which is something that we try to stay away from for different reasons.
Yep, exactly.
Go into frequencies on clothing and
yes.
stuff as well.
I mean, yeah, and we don't have time to get into the science of when she, because she just dropped a nugget that a lot of people probably didn't pick up. We talk about frequencies because, materials and everything all, oscillate at various frequencies. So, you could have things that vibrate with your energy as well as with the sun and the earth around you, and oscillate at a various orbits and cycles that brings you life. Because we always wanted, life produces life, so stuff that produces life,
Right.
And that when I say produce life, it's going to actually energize you versus take away your energy and everything. But enough of that. We'll get into so with intelligent smart clothing, also known as e-textiles. This is all new to me. So, I'm learning this all on the fly.
Yeah.
They call these also e-textiles or smart garments, refer to clothing that incorporates advanced electronic technologies and artificial intelligence directly into the fabric or closely integrated components. So you have transistors and circuits within the clothing, and it goes beyond traditional clothing, functions, offering features such as environmental sensing, psychological monitoring, data processing, and adaptive responses to various stimuli. The core concept behind intelligent clothing is to seamlessly blend technology with everyday wear, creating garments that are not only comfortable in style, but also serve as intelligent, interactive interfaces between the wearer and their environment. So
interesting.
I think from the most relatable thing, like a lot of people probably think of, is like Back to the Future, where in Back to the Future 2, where Marty was wearing some Nikes that, auto-laced, based on the sensitivity of, the size of his foot and everything. Then he also had a jacket that, knew that he was wet. So it produced some type of blow dryer or whatever. And then it could regulate temperature and everything because it has these type of things that's in it. So,
but I could see a lot of wellness and medical, especially when you're talking about getting your vital signs. Imagine someone who may have just had a heart attack and they're out and they're like, doctor's like, okay, go start walking regularly, start building up. And then you have sensors in your clothing that can alert people if something happens.
Yeah. I mean, because that's just like when you talk about your smartwatch or whatever, which can kind of, do your blood, your pulse, your judge your heart rate, and all this. Now, this is also in your clothing, to be able to tell. I mean, you're experiencing a heart attack, lifeline on your back.
And it can do something like, imagine it being able to send you a shock.
Oh, well, yeah, because you do have circuits in it and may be able to give you some type of pulse or whatever. So, I mean, that may be because the fabrics are conductive. So we have conductive fabrics. So that may be something you put in microcontrollers, power sources, you can definitely simulate that. I don't know how safe it is right now.
Yeah.
And then also when we talk about, EMFs, how that will interfere with your field because you have something that resonates around you, and because that you have the the EMF that electromagnetic field that generates around you. When you start adding things, how would that interfere with your systems in your body? And I know that's something that we don't know the long-term effects for. The same thing as why they tell you not to put the cell phone by your ear, and they give you headphones. That goes along with it. And and you don't have to believe me, just look at your RF exposure literature in your phone, because they put it in your phone, so they could have all take away all liabilities or whatever. So I don't know how this is going to interfere with your body.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but there's been a lot of studies, even with the phones showing up, because some women put them in certain locations.
Oh, yes.
And then you have that marking on them when they look, see what's going on. So it's
because
I would need to
this is radiating a serious charge, and if you put it in a concentrated area, you don't know how you would disrupt your heart, and any other your biological systems in your body, because we do have electricity that flows through our body, and when that system is disrupted, that's when you start having disease and health defects and all these other things. So, and then of course the main one, cancer, and cancer start developing.
Dis-ease.
Yep.
This disease.
But there are some applications, I'm always a negative guy or whatever, but there are some applications, we talk about the cons, when we talk about intelligent, smart clothing, then we talk about health and wellness, like you were talking about, so you can monitor vital signs, track physical activity, analyze sleep patterns, so if you were, have sleep apnea or any of those things, and also detect early signs of a medical condition. We talk about, preventive preventive technology versus, reactive, once a heart attack actually happens, because you can kind of see that something's going on.
Yeah, you know what? Who can be very detective when they're around you? Dogs.
Oh, yes.
Like they literally train dogs to be able to smell certain diseases. So imagine if you had those type of sensors on your clothes. You could put it on and it can smell you.
Oh.
To detect things that are happening. That would be quite interesting.
And then the other piece would be, like performance clothing, like so sports and fitness, where you could have performance enhanced, where it's getting, real-time data on how you're actually performing at that time. And you could be able to analyze from your workouts to your running regimens, how you're actually moving, all of those different things, and be able to analyze that data, take that analytics and be able to use that to improve your performance moving forward, especially if you're a professional athlete or you just want to get faster or, or stronger, those things. And then the other thing that they would talk about is color change, as far as aesthetics and, just the fashion aspect. Color change technology that's added into it because you have electrical conductors and everything. Patterns, shapes, being able to manipulate
Morph
the shapes
shapes.
and offering that dynamic and personalized fashion experience.
I would love this for a festival.
You know what? So, hey, we're putting it out there. We want to have a intelligent, smart clothing fashion show. The Future is Black fashion show. So we want to feature designers who are doing stuff with intelligent, smart clothing. We want to do a whole Future is Black fashion show, here. And you heard it here first. You heard it here first on the Future is Black podcast. And if you haven't done so, please let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the Futures Black podcast. We're, here each and every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
So, and then some of the other applications we talk about: workplace safety, industrial settings with smart clothing can detect workers, alert workers. I'm sorry. Environmental hazards, monitor fatigue levels. So, we talk about OSHA recordables, that if like you dozing off, you've been working 12 hours or whatever. Now we could actually sense that and be able to use that data to be able to tell if, you need a break, we need to pull back. We need to do something. And then military and defense, advanced smart uniforms that can improve soldiers' performance, better protection, and enhance communication in the field. So not carrying around all this extra heavy equipment, but it be integrated into the clothing and stuff.
They probably already have that since we're over here talking about it.
Yeah, they do. That's why we're talking about it, because it's there. It's just not at the consumer level yet. Just like the internet. The internet was in the military 20 years before we, they found a way to, get it to the masses and everything. So with that actually gets us into, so those are some of the things that when we talk about the future of fashion and fashion clothing and, the technologies that lends into, some of stuff that we've been talking about. But we just got to be prepared. And now if you're not, you're a fashion designer and you're getting into this, you need to know about these new things that's on the horizon, and then how you can integrate it and put your own, your own special sauce on it, because fashion, we've always, and I'm just talking about the black community, black and brown community in general, everyone else pretty much takes what we put out in the universe and then, sell it back to us in a sense. A lot of us buy these Italian brands and stuff like that, but I found out that even the Italian brands are having their stuff manufactured in Africa and then putting made in Italy on it and stuff like that. So, I want to get into,
their influences as well. Yeah.
But, we've always shaped the culture, within fashion, within all of these particular spaces. So I say all that because it is time for JoJo's Visionary Vibes.
It's my time.
It is your time for JoJo's Visionary Vibes. And this is where JoJo, talks about the intersection of, in this particular, she's going to talk about the intersection of music, culture, and tech, specifically how Afrofuturism has shaped music genres like hip-hop, R&B, and electronic music in the tech space. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to JoJo. Go ahead, JoJo.
Yeah. So I'm definitely talking about that. So before I do want to go through what I'm going to go over for this segment, I want to refresh on that framework we discussed the other week on how to recognize Afrofuturism.
Okay.
Then I want to go into Afrofuturism music genre because I did not know there was actually a music genre called Afrofuturism. Then go into a college lecture about Afrofuturism in music that I want everyone to check out. And then go over a few musical artists, including a recent mini documentary about Sun Ra.
Oh, powerful. Sun Ra right here.
Sun Ra right there, yes. So the framework by KHEM Matterns, which was, she wrote the essay about Wakanda opening the high school classroom to Afrofuturism. And in that, she mentioned different elements that we should look for when we're talking about Afrofuturism. One is African American culture. Second is science fiction. Third is technology. And the fourth is liberation. At a later date, we're going to revisit the first one, African American, because just from doing different learnings and studies, I realized we may want to change that to beyond just African American.
Yeah, I mean, and generally, and that's why we talk about the diaspora.
Yep. But then have different lenses of what it looks like for the different parts of the population. So that's the framework for Afrofuturism. When we're looking at the characteristics of Afrofuturism music genre, first is several key things we usually see in it: funk, jazz, soul, electronic, and hip hop.
Okay.
Atmospheric soundscapes that create like an immersive auditory experience for you. Introspective poetic lyrics.
Ooh, you're gonna have to break that down for the people.
So breaking that down, different themes it would include would be about identity.
Okay.
Of course, reflecting on your personal and cultural narratives. Technology, examining its impact on society. Social justice, addressing issues of equity and empowerment. So recently, Sun Ra, Lights on a Satellite, was discovered. He recorded it as a live recording done in Baltimore. So a drummer and archivist actually found it when he was looking through the different archives. So Sun Ra Estate has allowed it to be released now as an album. So when you look out there, it's on the top 10 of Afrofuturism albums that you can buy. And then also there's a mini documentary on YouTube about Sun Ra, Lights on a Satellite, where they give some more information about that album. Definitely check that out.
And then also check out Space is the Place. Space is the Place. Oh,
that is an awesome movie.
Yes, check that out.
So moving on to the lecture. So King James Britt, he was original DJ for Diggable Planet.
Oh, yes. Diggable Planets. Okay. I apologize.
Diggable Planets.
I don't know everything about hip hop. I will definitely, tell my truth.
So he's a music producer.
Yes.
DJ. Awesome DJ to see in person. And an associate professor now at University of California in San Diego.
Oh, powerful.
So he put together a lecture class called Blacktronica. Afrofuturism and electronic music. So in that, he goes through the Black pioneers whose innovative music was a response in social political climate that changed the way we listen and consume music today. So definitely go to his site on the King Brit with 2 T's site. You'll see a link underneath projects for the Black electronic. In there, there's a Google Arts and Culture where you have references for the machines that were actually used to create some of the music. It's under the music makers and machines. It's a really nice layout. They give you different viewpoints. So if you're a person that just looking for information about being in a club, you have that. If you want to nerd out on the instruments that they use, there's a place for you as well. And another place to definitely check out is the Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
Because they did that Afrofuturism between 2021, 2022, citywide events.
Yeah, I was there for the a number of the events that they had over there on Afrofuturism. They actually had, he does electronica too, Flying Lotus. They had Flying Lotus.
Yeah.
They did a concert with Flying Lotus. They had my man Tim Fielder, who's an Afrofuturistic illustrator, as well as Natasha Womack, who's written a number of books on Afrofuturism and everything, and actually is featured. Both of them, all of them, are featured. Were featured at the Afrofuturism exhibit at the African American Museum in Washington D.C.
That yellow book down there is from that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I actually saw Flying Lotus for the first time, and I didn't know him as a DJ.
Yes.
Because he does a lot of productions.
Production, yes.
And his setup blew me away.
Oh,
all his visuals that he had up during.
Phenomenal.
It was really amazing.
And a lot of people don't realize his start came from Cartoon Network. He used to do Toonami. That was, well, let me back up. That was when he got his big break. I would say his big break. And then from there, he leveraged that to be able to do all of the stuff that he probably was doing. But when people started recognizing him, he was doing stuff on Toonami and everything. And now, I mean, he's on, a number of things. He's doing anime. He did Yakase with LaShawn Thomas, as well as, oh man, what's the brother name? The actor. He was in Judas and the Black Messiah. He played the
Start with an O?
No, Stanford. Lamont. No, LaShawn Stanfield.
Okay.
Stanfield. I get the first name wrong. Hold up. This is why I gotta Google Stanfield. I know it's Stanfield. I can't think of his first name right now. I'm sorry. I'm having a brain fart at the moment.
But he did a lot.
Yes.
He's been doing a lot and doing a lot more since I saw him.
Yes. No. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was really impressed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to his Lakeith Stanfield.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah,
okay.
Lakeith Stanfield. A lot of people know his work from all of the different productions he's been in, from Photograph and a whole bunch of other stuff that he's done. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This was my segment, right?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
So from King Brit, I found out about More Mother. And one of her quotes is, "Free jazz is liberation technology." I love that. She's from Philadelphia. She's a poet, a music creator. She speaks her purpose, shedding light on hidden truths from fragmented histories. And one reason why I truly enjoy not just her lyrics and the soundscapes that she creates with her music is that she literally takes us on a journey with the use of sampling.
Oh, wow.
In her music. So it just takes us through time listening to her music. It's amazing. You can check her out. Definitely go to her website as well. She also has a lot of stuff available on SoundCloud.
That's powerful.
So her and Rashida Phillip, they created Black Quantum Futurism, BQF. Whole nother level. It synthesizes quantum physics with Afro-diasporic principles and it looks at ontologies of time, space, ritual, text, and sound. It's a creation of counter histories and alternate futures.
Oh, that's powerful.
So that's another thing to look into. There's a lot of interviews with her on YouTube. One of the better ones that I like, where she talks about sampling Afrofuturism, and also collaborations, and one by Red Bull Music Academy. That one is definitely a good one to take a look at. So someone else I came across on Instagram.
Okay.
Shiro Fujiyoko. His IG is Voltage CTRLR and Frequencers. So FREQUENSEERS. So it's an interdimensional tribe of sonic alchemists that imagine new realities. They combine visual, sound, and vibration. They use AI a lot to tell the stories. So they're integrating the art, sound together to create the immersive experiences.
So they are creating the sounds, but using AI to do the visual aspects that connects the art to it.
Correct. Yep. And so the instruments they use, like the modular synthesizer, analog 4, Syntac, Digitone, analog heat, and FX. So a lot of those are dealing with sound coloring and manipulation of the music.
Yeah, that's like that 4-dimensional piece where you have, and I've gone into theaters or whatever where they, circulate the sound around you, and, you have sound not just coming at you, but you feel the sound in all different aspects of the, space that you are, making it more immersive and engaging. Wow. Now that's some powerful stuff.
Yeah, so definitely check it. So I'm going to have a call to action for everyone to recap what we talked about, because I love to hear your thoughts, share in the comments what stood out to you about this segment and what insights you're excited about or you want to learn more about it.
Yeah, definitely. If you have questions, about any of the artists that we spoke about, and for a number of you, I know this when we talk about the technology and everything, and the sound. This is the sound of tomorrow. This is the future of sound. This is the future of fashion, and how all of this all intertwines into one. That's the basis of this particular episode, to kind of, just kind of shed light on what's actually out there, and then how people are actually doing this, because when you get it, in the mass productions aspect of it, it's going to be too late. So if you are a fashion designer and you're not integrating any of these things into these technologies into it, not saying that you shouldn't stop, but we talking about threads of tomorrow, what's actually happening, the power of Afrofuturistic fashion in tech and entertainment, part 2.0. So, we're looking at all of these different things. And, we had our guest on here on a previous episode talking about, how he's weaving, his technology and then the creativity, but just taking creativity to a whole nother level when you integrate the technologies, using various things as far as AI, circuits, microcontrollers, power sources, all of these different things that's coming into it to change fabric, texture, colors, patterns, silhouettes, all of these different aspects of fashion that you can manipulate on the fly sometimes.
Yeah.
That's, something that's super, super dope, I think. And just to make it relatable, it's like when Shuri from Black Panther, created the sneakers and some of the other nanotech technology, Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther in that particular movie and everything, so some of those things are actually interwoven into the actual fabric and everything. And I've seen holographic technology, and I haven't seen this aspect yet, mainly in anime and stuff like that, but where you're just you're projecting. You have like a blank canvas, but you're projecting the particular outfit onto you. Yeah, so now you can make it interchangeable. So now you got to go to a dinner party, you got to go to a concert, you could have something on and then have it flip like that, by programming and everything. So that's some technology that's actually happening. So thank you, Jojo. And that was Jojo Visionary Vibes, when we talk about the future forward. And can you do the call to action again so the people in the back can hear?
Yeah, I have more. So,
oh, you do? Go ahead.
Yeah, so check out the new album by Sun Ra, new in quotes, as well as the documentary. Navigate to kingbrit.com. It's KINGBRITT.com. Go to Projects Blacktronica, where you will find information about that. Also, the Google Arts and Culture. In there, you'll also see all the pioneers listed out. Big pictures with bios and descriptions to let you know how they contributed to the music, as well as the information about the tools that I mentioned. Moormother.net, MOOR.
Okay.
MOTHER.net. Of course, like and subscribe. And then after you go through all those things I told you to look at, come back and let us know what resonated with you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Best. And then also, if you're interested in learning more about the technology behind it, or even with AI, let us know that, because we could do a deep dive.
Oh yeah. I know. Like we were talking about doing some we were talking about doing some webinars on some of this stuff, but it's going to be based on the feedback that you guys give. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think about what we're talking about here in this particular episode. But if there is a particular aspect of this that you need us to do a deeper dive into, please let us know in the comments, and we read the comments. We appreciate you guys tuning in. And this is the Future's Black episode. We're going to actually wrap up this particular segment, and we're going to talk about how Afrofuturistic fashion isn't just about looking forward. It's about weaving the past, present, and future into wearable art. This episode will leave listeners inspired to see clothing as not only as a canvas for revolution, innovation, and unapologetic Black excellence, because you want to remember that style is the first weapon of the future. And with that, we're going to close out. Thank you all for tuning in. This is the Future is Black episode. This is the Future is Black podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We're looking forward to you guys, commenting. And my name is Naseed Gifted. This is
Jojo Abenaavi Arts.
And we're going to say goodnight. Peace. Peace.